Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Johnny Davis Live. We're here on this March the 20th, 2026. So happy to have everyone on today. We're actually going to be talking about people who attended the IKF Spring Classic last weekend in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Landmark Resort. It was a fantastic event. All the things you see going on right there on the screen. The IKF Point Kickboxing was there. We had the Point Boxing, PBSE Point Boxing sparring there. And of course, we had our IKF Super Fights. We had daytime fights, we had nighttime fights. Probably one of the best East Coast classes we've had in a long time. And so we're very excited to be talking to some of the people and their experience there at this year's event. Something that I try to do, to try to, kind of bring it a little bit more home because a lot of people don't know what people go through sometimes to get to these events and to do these events and all. And, I think it's a good idea to kind of hear their perspective on what it takes to actually get there. And then, the training. And maybe from parents' perspective, we have one of our photographers on today. We're going to also get his perspective as well. So we're just going to be talking. We're just going to be chatting here today about our stuff. We also want to tell you about some great events that we have coming up, here in the not so distant future. And all of you guys can also get excited about that. All right, guys. But I want to start out, I guess, a little bit with a sad note. It's certainly a sad note for a great martial artist. And I want to slow it down for a minute because Mr. Chuck Norris, you know, um, ever since I've been on the planet, I have known this man as at least since I've been in martial arts around the time I was 12 years old. He's around that same era as, Bill Superfoot Wallace and, Mr. Joe Lewis, rest in peace. He was in that same era. So he was certainly one of those people. And I was a huge Bruce Lee fan, right? And so when he was in one of the movies there, I can't remember the exact movie, but I became even a bigger fan. And he was just always a great inspiration to me. And I'm just appreciative for the time that we had to enjoy him. And not only that, he was such an advocate for fitness, even in his elder years. And as I get older, now 63 years old, I'm trying to stay in as best shape that I can, but boy, it gets hard as you get older. But I'm trying, and he's always been that inspiration for me, in trying to stay fit. And look, life is going to do what life does to you. One day we're all going to leave, and it's so interesting. I was talking about that the other day at the rules meeting at the East Coast Classic, and I was, telling people that listen, you only have a window here. And what you do is you dive in, you give it 110%, you give it all you can, you inspire as many people as you can, you help as many people, reach their bucket list and all of that as much as, and, just try to love and respect people and live the best life you can. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's certainly what Mr. Norris did. And so I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have known him. I think I might have met him at least once. But I just know that he was a great man and he did great things for martial arts. So my condolences, our condolences from the ICAF family to the Norris family and his friends and all. He'll be surely missed. Thank you. All right, so we'll move on. Just a little bit here. I just hated that we're leaving. I talk to people all the time about, our martial arts are leaving. We just had our banquet, our awards banquet in Myrtle Beach, and we had a lot of people that showed up that were there. And we were giving out these awards, and I was telling them kind of the same thing, guys. If not now, when? So I made that happen. My ICAP, my crew, and Tony Fossum, we made it happen for the people and all that. And I thought it was very good and very generous, of the people to come out and enjoy that event. All right, so let's move right on to the next thing. Let's talk a little bit about the ICAF Spring Classic that happened last week. I'm telling, we had a lot of fisticuffs. We had people punching and kicking each other in the face like cray and everything. Our first guest, who I'm going to bring up, Mr. James Benson, he was one of our photographers there. That was the first time he was actually at the event. and everything. I hope his Wi-Fi is good where he lives. I see, he told me he lives out in the country a little bit. Let's give it up for Mr. James Benson.
Thank you. It's an honor, one, to have met you and to be on here. I'm a little mind blown right now.
Oh, no! That's awesome. You did a fantastic job at the event. What was your experience as far as your telling the story through the lens, if you will? What were you seeing through those lenses that made it kind of different and unique for you, based on some of the other photography that you've done in the past?
So coming from sports like lacrosse, baseball, like the collegiate sports and concerts, this was a whole different, like, just breed of event. I kind of watched like some old kickboxing stuff to try to see what I was getting into. I had no clue what I was getting into until I got there. I started out, yeah, it was crazy. I started out with the points downstairs.
Right.
One, seeing those little kids was adorable, but I was like, they could probably take me because some of them had some power. Um,
Right.
but yeah, going from that to the yeah, teenagers to the adults and the points, I was kind of getting my feet wet in there. So about halfway through, I was like, okay, I got this. Like, I know what I'm
Right.
looking for.
How did you?
I
I've not seen the pictures yet. I have a link, James, but I've not seen the pictures yet and everything. So I don't know if it's somebody in half motion or whatever, right? But how did you
there's a
determine the timing?
handful. Honestly, I had my camera on what they call high burst. I just held the button down. When I started watching the fighters' feet, especially the older fighters, I started watching their feet because you could kind of tell if they're gonna, with their feet, lean in
Ah,
to a punch or
anticipation.
kind of go for a kick.
Right.
Yeah, so I started eventually watching for that. But at first, I just what I like to call spray and pray.
You were definitely letting it go and everything. What was the experience upstairs?
Oh,
Did you get for the full contact?
so I had talked to Z beforehand, before all that got started, and I was like, "Hey, downstairs was wild." She's like, "Just wait." Um, and the first fight, I kind of watched a little more than I took some photos, because that was
Right,
completely different than downstairs.
right, right.
Um, much faster. Uh,
Well,
and I was
the
able to
intent
kind
is
of get on
totally
the
different.
ring. Oh, 100%. And I might as well have been thrown in the middle of the ocean because then I was like, okay, this is different. Wasn't
Right,
ready.
right. We
The
got
first
your
probably two to three.
your Wi-Fi is a little bit choppy there, James, and everything. I don't know, but based on what you were telling me the other day, that you lived out there a little bit, so it might it might be a little bit choppy on your end there and all. But it sounds like to me you had a great time at the tournament and everything, and you're looking forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't care if it's a practice or what. I need to be there. I'm hooked.
Well, that is awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. We look forward to seeing you at some future events and all taking some great shots. By the way, the photography is available now on nakamuimedia.com. And all, if anybody's looking for some of those
Yep.
great shots that James and Zanetta took the other day from the ICAF Spring Classic. James, thanks so much for coming on today, okay, buddy?
Thanks for having me, and sorry for my internet. Like I said, I live so far in the country. Like, we have the
I know.
only what's available.
Right. I was gonna mess with you a little bit on that, but since the Wi-Fi is a little messed up, I'll get you another time. Thank- Thanks,
Yes, sir.
James.
I apologize. Thank
No
you.
problem. No problem. All right, guys, that was Mr. James Benson. He was one of our photographers at the ICAF Spring Classic, giving his perspective on what was going on and what we did there and everything. It has a little choppy Wi-Fi out there where he is because he said he was out there, y'all. So that's all good. I don't have a specific order. I just see people sitting in the lobby, so I'm just going to go by who was on first, and then we're just going to keep going. Next, we're going to bring up Mr. David Kopesky. Hopefully, I said that correctly and everything.
Is
So bring
correct.
him up and let's chat with him a little bit and see what's going on. David
How's it
Capacity.
going?
How are you,
Yep,
sir?
good. You said it perfect.
Oh, I did. I did.
Yeah,
And I didn't even practice. Can you imagine that?
exactly.
Right. Tell me, what was your role at your involvement with the ICAST Spring Classic this past weekend?
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm Kalina Ayude's coach. So I'm her head coach and I'm the owner of the gym she trains at. And yeah, my role this weekend, pretty much was getting her ready, getting her hand safe, getting her mindset right. And I'm extremely proud of what she accomplished and what she did, for
You know,
sure.
let's slow this down for just a moment here.
Yeah.
So so I was actually a little surprised in Kalina.
Mhm.
Because, when we were doing the press conference and everything, she was a little bit laid back until she said that comment right at the end. She said something right at the end.
Yeah, about that killer instinct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. This girl got something else going on here. She has an edge on her. Tell me about
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even when she's here training, she's super duper focused. And then whenever she gets to sparring or even just competing in general, a switch goes on. So like when she's in that mode, like 2, 3 days out before a competition, she boom switches over to hyper focus and she's ready to go. She's I
But how
and
does she? But does she have like this, like beat you behind attitude on the street, or is it
I
just is it an upbringing? Is it? I mean, what do you think the killer instinct is coming from? Because she certainly had it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Where that's coming from, I could tell you, I mean, her dad has also competed in martial arts back in the
Ah,
day or started in martial arts, things like that. And also, she trains with her sister all the time, so they're always there with that same kind of mindset. And for most of the part, when she's training, she's laid back, she's, having a good time, but when it's ready to work, she just has it in her. You know what I mean? It's funny when, people say they have that dog in them. She
right.
she is she has that for sure, 1000%.
Well, I have a guy that just always on the show today. When we ever talk about dog, I've never used the word so much dog about
Yeah.
this guy. I've been telling everybody before he even fought down here, Mason Dole. I said, guys, I'm just gonna tell you. He made it very clear to me on we was on my show some time back that this guy, he said, man, I got dog. I just never really heard anybody say that until him.
Yeah.
Like he said, I just got dog in me. I don't know what it is. I got dog. And the fool, he crazy. He
Yeah.
does have a dog in him. I mean, he does. I don't know. It's a mean dog too, right? A
Mhm.
very mean dog. Since I have, Kalina and her dad, sitting in the lobby, I'm gonna go ahead and bring them up as well and everything. Let's welcome them to the show. There, you guys got the camera right in the middle of both of you.
There we go.
But wait a minute, is that Kalina?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I think I must be mistaken. Well, she got the belt. Wait a minute. So this is the same girl that fought Adams?
Yep.
Why is she looking so different right now?
You have to learn how to hide.
I'm gonna take off.
There you go.
I mean, I saw this killer in the ring, and now she's looking all sophisticated and everything. Did you not have your hair painted red or something?
It's the same color. I had it red a few months ago.
Underneath.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw red or pink or something like that going on.
I
That
used to
belt
have
looks
red.
very nice on you. That
Thank
belt
you.
looks very nice on you, by the way.
Thank you.
You really fought and you earned that. Tell me, first of all, let's start with your trainer. What does your trainer mean to you?
He means a lot. I joined about 5 years ago, and he's been my trainer ever since 5 years. He's been pushing me through every fight camp. He plans everything out. We work through a game plan for my opponents and things like that.
Well, a lot of times, you have trainers that are just trainers, right? How do they go beyond? How did he go beyond that from your psychology and how we made you think about, being positive or being negative, which I would think that would be terrible when you go into a fight? What did he do to your mental capacity? More than the physical, what did he do for you psychologically? What did he say that maybe gave you the energy that you needed during that fight? Because it was not an easy fight, by the way. The girl Adams was game.
Yes, she was. Well, he's not only my coach. He always is open. Like if I want to go to him with whatever, he's always there for me. So that's definitely a big help. I can talk about whatever I need to talk about, get off my mind, things like that. So
Right, right. Well, I mean, I think that's a good thing. Your father is also sitting there.
yeah.
Tilt the camera just a little bit to him. Just turn it a little bit towards him there. Hey, Dad.
How you doing, sir? How you doing, Master David?
Well, we understand now because I think I've had a conversation with you on the phone at least once or twice,
Yeah,
and I think that's you. I'm not mistaken, but
yeah,
if
I
I'm
was the
not
one bugging
mistaken,
you all the time.
right, right, and you were talking about your daughter and it's tough to get fights and all that, and and I know that it is. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. She has a stepdad. All right? She has a stepdad. How do you feel about sharing your daughter in that way when trainers they do have that effect on these kids?
Two minds that think alike are better than one.
Ah,
We work together. We support each other, and we know Kalina. We've been all of us been together for 5 or 6 years now.
oh, okay,
So
long
I've
time.
always thought that it's just a good idea. I mean, he taught. I'm one of the trainers under Master David. I'm also a student under Master David. He's taught myself and the Muay Thai sisters. I mean, we owe it all to him. I thank him all the time. I'm so grateful to have got to know him and find his school because it's hard to find. It's hard to find, the best Muay Thai schools out there. Some of them say Muay Thai, but they're really kickboxing. But I feel it's a good combination. My mind and his mind together, and we work together. He leads the way. I respect him, and I kind of I've learned from him, and I feed off what he teaches. And I love it. I'm lucky.
Good, very good. Dave, tell me a little bit about your past. How did you get into this thing? And you're passion driven here.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's funny. Muay Thai kind of fell into my lap a little bit.
Mm,
I was training Taekwondo when I was a young kid, and
right.
because honestly, I mean, Muay Thai. What's Muay Thai? Yeah, especially back then when I started.
Right.
Yeah, and basically, my trainer just basically walked into my Taekwondo school because he was just finding needed a bag to hit because there was no
Right.
Muay Thai in the area. So I
Right.
kind of just peeked through the door and was like, "What was that?" And then I started talking to him, and then I just trained with him all the way through since I started when I was 14 years old, just training in his garage. And then literally
Oh
he
wow.
reopened yeah, and then literally he reopened up his school back in Thailand, and literally the day after I graduated, flew to Thailand, lived there for about 4.5 years and fought ever since all the way out there. Yeah.
What does it mean to
Yeah.
you to be inspiring the next generation of fighters?
It
What does that mean to you and your legacy?
Yeah, it means a ton, you know what I mean? Because I'm not only, teaching for my legacy, but I'm teaching for my teacher's legacy, his teacher's legacy, you know what I mean? And it actually means the world to me that I can bring my style out in my students and them kind of just passing the torch on and continuing going. Like I know like Kalina has her own style as well a little bit, but I also know she incorporates the things I've taught her and the style I have. So it's a mixture of both, and it's always really fantastic to see. And even when I see her dad doing class, it's the same. I'm seeing myself in them as well as her sister Alea. I see myself in them, so it makes me really really proud, honestly.
Nice, nice. Well, that's
Hmm.
very good to hear. Kalina, how did it make you feel after you'd accomplished this goal? You know, I'm one of these kind of guys. I started when I was 12 years old. I won my first world title at age 22. I set that goal early on. I want to be a world champion at 12. And when I got it, it was like the best thing since bread and butter, right? You know, it was a great feeling. This is your first one, I believe, your first title, right? This is your first title, am I right? Yeah. And what does that mean? What did it mean to you when you were announced the actual winner? I mean, you probably thought you'd won pretty much through. Glad we got it right. You know, from a judging perspective, that can be terrible. Ain't nothing like
Yeah.
that. And but we did get it right and everything. And what does that mean to you, though? And what does it say to you about what you can accomplish in life?
It means a lot. I put in the work. I trained really hard. This fight camp was probably my best fight camp. I had really good teammates. Obviously, I had my sister and my dad. We would do extra work after class when everyone else would leave. We would stay in the gym late and we would get home late because we live pretty far from the gym, so we would get home late. And yeah, I worked really hard, so when they raised my hand, it was like a relief in a way for me. So
Right. Dad, it's a lot of sacrifice in this. A lot of people don't understand the sacrifice. That goes for the trainers as well. They see that little star kid, or they see that kid that's really has a little bit of extra and you give them a little bit of extra time, right? And you know, it ain't like you're making a ton of money from this thing. It ain't like nobody's getting rich. Dave's not getting rich on this, right? So
Yep,
it takes that
you're
extra
correct.
time. But that is also a financial sacrifice to come to these events, pay money for the hotel, the travel, and all of that. What did it mean to you after she came down and she accomplished the goal that she started with? Slide the camera over just a little bit towards your face. Right. There
All
you
right.
go. All right, good.
I mean, it means a lot, especially for the support you've given us. You helped out a lot with the finances going over there to the IKF Spring Classic.
Mhm.
But you're right. I'm glad you mentioned it
Don't
because I
say too much about that. Don't say too much about that. People
of course.
they have to, oh well, let's go.
Hey, you know what? They gotta be champion fighters. That's how they're gonna get the support. So don't worry. It's only a few of us.
And
That
this
can
is what I try to tell people. When you become a certified champion with us, you start getting perks. It's just the way it is, you know. And we try to look out for people. And what's next? What's next for Kalina? What would you like to see her do next?
I just want her to keep going. She's coming up on the TBAs in the next couple of months. I just want her to keep going because I know like the sky's the limit. I don't think she realizes how far she can go with her mind and body, especially with the help of Master David. I mean, I really sometimes when I speak to them, or even when Master David speaks to them, they really don't know what we're trying to get to it as
Right.
far as their future. They can be with the top. They can reach the pinnacle. I just want them to have fun at the same time. It's they're martial artists. Number one, they're martial artists. So through the martial arts, whatever you're choosing, you can show your artistic abilities through whatever style you're using. To me, that's important. It just shows who you are. Kind of like that quote that Bruce Lee said. You get to show who you are with your martial art, and
Right.
I want her to keep on going and never stop. But there's the part of it. The balance is that you don't want them to have pressure on them either. If they want to stop, they can stop too. But
Right.
they can
Well,
still keep.
and I think that's the thing. I mean, there's some pressure there, but I try to make it clear. If I don't know if you guys remember part of my speech at the rules meeting, I make it clear to people that there are limits to this game, right? And that you can go so far, but where's it going to take you? What you're going to get? I always say I was ready for the sport, but the sport wasn't ready for me, right? And so with me, I am trying to get it ready for some of these kids. At least, and I got some important meetings and stuff like that coming on, trying to get these kids so by the time they turn pro, they can make some real good money, right? That's the idea. That's what you want to do. But otherwise, take all of these qualities, the discipline, the hard work, the confidence that it gives you, and put it into something that's going to make you great at whatever that might be. And I really mean that. And I tell people that. And I don't know if trainers like me saying that, and all that, but it's reality, right? And everybody won't be an instructor. Everybody won't be a world champion fighter, and stuff like that. But I want them to give 110% of whatever they have now in that window, and go from there. Dave, before I let you go,
Yes.
tell me about what would be your greatest accomplishment for some of your fighters, and how will that make you feel when they have actually reached those goals?
You know, with that, I would love to. Every trainer wants to see their fighter become world champion.
Mhm.
Everybody does, and that's great. I would love to see that. But one thing that would honestly make me even the happiest, other than them reaching the top of their career and things like that, is seeing them be able to turn not only, themselves become champions, but turn others into champions as well, or inspire the next generation of fighters. Because
Right,
I know when Kalina fights, there's a whole bunch of young girls looking up to her.
right.
1000%. I mean, even just after this fight, I can't tell you how many calls I got about people wanting to bring their little girls into my gym because they saw her.
Ah,
So that means the world to me, honestly. I mean, that's like the top for me, seeing them inspire people.
Dad, when it comes to getting your daughter, watching your daughter getting punched in the face,
Oh, you know what, man?
how
I mean,
how how does that affect you?
I know what you're gonna say. How does that feel for me? I mean, uh,
Yes.
you'll see some videos. I make a lot of documentaries on the Muay Thai Sisters YouTube, and if you look at it, the punches bounce right off her. It doesn't. They don't really at this level right now. At this level, I don't know in the future, but like I noticed that at a very young age she had a high pain tolerance, and I'm like, oh, this is First I'm like, oh my god, this is weird. She's a little girl, and then stuff that normal kids would be crying hysterically, it wouldn't get
Yeah.
to her, and I'm like, this is strange. But then like I was like, we can work with this, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so then and then you can see it in her fights. If she gets tagged, I mean, she goes right through it, and then and actually she takes that as a like she gets a little bit angry when someone tags her up, and that motivates. So I'm like, they better not do nothing because they're only going to get back double in return, and you can see
Right.
that in her fights all the time.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that's how I feel about it.
She definitely has a little edge on her, no doubt about it. We would love to see her back in the fall to defend that title. We can find that right opponent for her. So don't overbook yourself. October 16th, right? When we come back, definitely like her back there. And she might be at the World Classic. Who knows? In July. There's a lot of different things we can do, but you got to be ready for it. I'm talking to a couple of certified champions, and including Mason, who we're talking to him. You got to be ready for the World Classic because when we match up there, that's a national level. We're bringing the best of the best and everything like that. And it is a different kind of fighting going on there. I will tell you that it really is. And we match people to beat you, not just to fight you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good.
What did you think about the overall production of the event before we go? Dave, why don't you take that?
Yeah. Honestly, so far, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I've been to a lot, especially in Florida and everywhere else.
Mm.
This has been one of the most professional shows I've been a part of.
Oh wow.
One
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Everything was laid out perfect. The gear, the area where taping hands, it was run really smooth. I mean, there was no hiccups whatsoever.
Right.
It was ran
That you could
fantastic.
see.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. But that just goes to show you all the hard work you guys put in because we didn't see that. You know what I mean? The show ran perfect and ran smooth. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I have a good team. I have a good team, and
Hmm. Yeah.
I Care Fight platform kind of helps us out a lot.
Hmm.
Following along on that, keeping up with the fights and the orders and stuff like that. I think that has been a huge plus to us. But then again, just having good people, nice people, and all that. Can I get your final thoughts, Mr. Widdowson?
I mean, I just agree with what Master David was saying, and it makes us want to come back. It's a long travel, but it's like it makes it easy to do to make that trip because of the way you guys run your show. We appreciate all the support, like I said earlier, and we'll be back for sure. We're looking forward to
Awesome,
it.
awesome, Kalina, you get the final word. What are your thoughts of the event overall, and your thoughts for the future?
It was amazing. Like everything was run perfect. We had a lot of warm up room because sometimes I had to warm up in small spaces, so we had a good amount of room there. And yeah, everything was perfect. Like nothing went wrong for on our side. I know you said some stuff was hard for you guys,
Of course, always.
but yeah, it
Yeah.
was perfect. And then yeah, whatever opportunity you want to throw at me, I'm ready.
Let's go! All right, Mr. Dave and Mr. Wilderson, and the one and the only, our champion. She's an ICAP certified champion, Kalina Oyure.
Nakamura
Give it
Karina.
up for him.
Go
Thank you
champ.
guys for being on today.
Thank you.
Thank you
All right,
very
we'll
much
talk
for
to you
having
soon.
us.
All right, guys. All right, there you have it. There, that's a great team right there. They get along great. You know, you can tell they have real, true love for one another, and we enjoyed them. You know, coming on the show and chatting with us a little bit today. I mean, that's ultimately what it's all about. We're building champions from the ground up. We take our champions. We like to start them out young, and we build them. We've had people go all the way from that young age there, all the way up to world titles with us, and on and into the pros. And that's what we want to continue to do, right? And to help fighters and basically achieve their bucket list. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff. We have some big announcements that are going to be coming up, hopefully here in the near future, about to help that even move faster, you know, and all. And that is the plan there. Without any further ado, though, I'm going to go ahead and bring on he's a hard-working fella. This guy works as hard as he fights. I tell you that right there. With the last couple of weeks, we've been trying to get him on the show and everything, but we're going to see if he is still there in our lobby and chat with him just a little bit. Let me see, can I get my touch screen working there? There you go. Let's see, where did he go there? He might have disappeared. He was out there working. Yeah, I think he had to go. He might have had to run and everything. That was Mason Dole. Every time we had Mason on, he was sitting there waiting in the lobby and everything, and I couldn't get to him just right away and all. But he might come back on if he has a moment. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start talking about some of the items that we have coming up, some of our future events. Now, coming up we have obviously a lot of PKB events, PMT events across the country, our PBSC events. Right now, we're still loading to the platform, but they have their own specific websites and things like that you can also go to. Coming up in May, though, I'll call it the Takeover in Reno, Nevada. There's Mason. As soon as I start talking, hold 1 second, Mason. I'll be right with you. And everything. And we have our 2 events going on in Reno, Nevada. That is our Muay Thai IKF spring. It is our West Coast Classic. It's May the 15th through the 17th. It's going to be held there at the Grand Sierra Resort there in Reno, Nevada. That's May the 15th and the 17th. And then we have our Full Rules. It's an ICAF sanctioned Full Rule tournament on May the 30th. It's a one-day event, but it's a tournament, fight day. And it's a lot of great fights there. Muay Thai Purist, Ryan Hodges and his team putting that on along with the IKF at the Reno Event Center. It's going to be an exciting event, guys. Check out both of them. You can go to IKFFightSports.com and see all the information coming up for those events. Get ready to punch and kick and elbow people in the face. All right, guys, without any further ado, I'm going to bring it up while I have him there. He's one of the hardest working guys in the country. You can believe that. While he's going around punching people in the face, give it up for the one and the only Mason Doyle. How you doing, Mason?
Hey, how's it going, brother? How you doing today?
Mason, you driving?
I am currently driving. I'm off work right now.
Mason, can you pull over for a minute?
All right. Yep. I can definitely pull over. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Hey,
I was trying to make it home to get. I was trying to make it a home to get in front of my titles to make it look all cool, but I'm getting off work right now, brother. Hey, it is what it is.
I know, man. Yeah, you're a hard working dude. You're a hard working dude. And listen, I appreciate you coming on today. And we've been trying to get you on for the last couple of weeks. Listen, Mason, dude. I was telling the guy, Mr. David, earlier, he was talking about the dog, like the young lady has the dog in her. And I was talking about you. I was talking about when you talk about dog, you want to talk about Mason Doyle. The guy has some serious dog in him and everything. Where does that dog come from, Mason?
Man, it comes from a lot of things. It comes from my past. It comes from my story. It comes from my prophecy. It comes from a lot of things. People get the dog from one particular thing in their life or one of their motivations. For me, it's everything. I don't have. I like to say I have the dog, but it's more than just having the dog, Johnny. You know what I mean, Mr. Davis? It's more so having that warrior mindset. I'm going in there to kill, and it's either kill or be killed. And I'm going there every time with that warrior mindset.
Right. Right. You had Dakota Gray. You know, you kind of sought him out a little bit and everything. And Dakota's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's solid and
For
everything.
sure.
You went in there, you did your thing, though, man. You went in there, you did your thing. You went in there like nothing was gonna hurt you, and everything you threw was gonna hurt him. Tell me, what was your mentality when you entered that ring that night?
Man, it was honestly rough because this was the first fight where I didn't have a coach or an official trainer in my corner. So going down to South Carolina by myself was honestly overwhelming, and I was pushing away a lot of emotions, a lot of things because I was just focusing on the fight, just focusing on fighting Dakota because I know he was such a game warrior, you know what I mean? And so going in there with
Did
just
something
me.
happen? Did something happen with you and your trainer that made you come down by yourself?
Nah, brother. I'm not trying to spit no bad ill will on Wildside and what they do, but at the same time, brother, like it's the irresponsibility part. It like my coaches did not show up, brother, and there's nothing I can say
Okay.
about it. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I don't really know who the coach is, but I'm just saying that, that's always a little rough when that happens. Listen, you got Mr. Wenderson who's on. He must be, I think he's a fan because he just gave you the biggest compliment. I mean, if anybody know who Ramon Deckers is, I mean,
yep.
he is saying that you are like him. He said the young Ramon Deckers for real, Mason. What? Do you know who Ramon Deckers is? I was?
That's I watch him. I watch him. People had to tell me who he was at first because they were like, "Man, you remind me of Ramon Deckers." I'm like, "Who is that?"
Whoa.
I looked him up and I was like, "Wow, I fight just like that guy." You know what
Uh,
I mean? I'm
Man,
like,
he was
"Man,
a beast. He was an absolute beast and
yeah, he
everything.
was. Yeah, he
And
was. Yeah, he was."
that is a huge compliment for someone to say that and
For
everything. And I
sure. For
think that
sure.
he said something else here. I'm gonna keep him involved. He said, oh my God. He said, I thought it was his duplicate, the way he moved and fought. What? Mason, buddy. Now listen, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna ride with that for a moment because I'll be honest with you, I was impressed too. But
Mm.
I was impressed with you when
Hey,
you fought in Tennessee. Didn't you knock the guy out there too?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I
Right,
and in the October fight, I was gonna knock him out too.
yeah, right. Well, this is what I'm saying. So yeah, that ended kind of weird, right? That's something.
Yeah, that ended in a draw because he got kicked in the
A
no
no
square
contest
area.
or something like that.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But Mason, so now we had a conversation about perhaps you coming up to Las Vegas, right? Because I certainly gave you the invitation and all,
You-
and my word is good. However, I told you that you might want to go have a talk with your trainers to make
Right.
sure that that is something you want to do because one of the first people that popped up, oh, what's the guy? Kevin Cummings, right? You go look up Kevin Cummings, right? He's like 20-7, right? This guy is like renowned full rule Muay Thai. He is very good, and we're gonna be offering him a certified title. But I think that y'all guys are right at the same weight class, right in that same area. You have to think about that with 8 fights.
There ain't nothing to think about. There ain't nothing to think about, brother. There ain't nothing to think about. Ain't nothing to
There's
think
nothing to think about.
There's no doubt in my mind, brother. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't care what title. I don't care what. I don't care about your record. What's in your heart? What does he have in his soul? What can he offer me? I don't care about his technicality. You've seen me. You could be probably better technically. Can you outstrike me? Can you out stamina me? Can you sit there and not be hunted by me the whole time? Everybody that I've faced, I'm saying this as respectfully and humbly as possible.
No, you're
But at
fine.
the same time, everybody that I've faced, all my opponents have been walking everybody down. Every one of their opponents, they've been walking everybody down. And they think they're gonna do the same thing when I walk into the ring. But what happens? What happens, Mr. Davis? When I walk into that ring, I'm hunting. There is no me being back. I don't get back. I don't get knocked back. There is no walking back. We march forward. That's what a Viking does. Vikings walk forward. That's what my ancestors did. If my ancestors can do what they did in the past, there's no reason why I can't sit there in the ring and do that to one man. If one man, brother, I have ancestors that stood on bridges. One man taking on 45, 50 guys at a time. That's something that I see myself doing. I could take on 5 to 10 guys, I feel like, in the street. Just me, just because of how I am. And I fully believe that. Delusional or not, I can be delusional. But I will be delusional because when I go in the ring, it's hunt or be hunted, and I'm hunting.
Whoa. I like that, Mason. Mason, what is that nickname you call yourself?
Berserker. I am
What is that?
a berserker. The berserker is a specific group of people in a region of Vikings. Berserkers are the main people that you send out on the battlefield, and they're handling business. You have regular warriors, then you have berserkers. Berserkers go wild. There is a lot of things to talk about berserkers. There's different types of berserkers. Berserkers, we go into an animal-like state. We praise to certain gods.
Oh no, he's out there driving and everything, and it went away. That was getting so good. Guys, we'll have a chat. He'll probably come back on in just a second, talking with Mr. Mason Doyle. You hear that attitude? Do you hear that? See how he started out all nice and humble and everything. Here he is coming back on. He started out all nice and humble. Then when I get him into it and I start asking certain questions, that dog start coming out in this young man. Because it's real. I know that dog. I have it too. When I get like that, go ahead. What you were saying, Mason? Go ahead.
Hey, just to make it short, we have animalistic movements. You got the wolf, you got the bird, you got a bear, you got a boar. There's a certain animalistic traits to berserkers that most humans can't. I feel like I have ancestral powers when I step into that ring, and I show people that every time.
That's digging pretty deep there, Mason. What kind of stuff do you read? What kind of stuff do you read, Mason?
I read a lot, I pray a lot, and I meditate a lot. I take this fight game I don't take it just seriously. This is a way of life. If I was born back in the day, I'm on that freaking battlefield with 2 axes, and I'm going berserk. They're lucky I wasn't born back then.
What has fighting done for you, though? What has it done for you? Were you always this confident, or you had to gain the confidence?
I've always been this confident. Always. It doesn't matter what I was. I was always this confident before fighting. I was fighting since a little kid. And
you mean on the street or in the
on
ring?
On the street. And it wasn't like I was mean. I wasn't aggressive. You know what I mean? I was just a friendly, humble, happy kid that wanted to be friends with everybody, but everybody wanted to bully me. And I'm like, yeah, you want to bully me? Smooth. And then I just fight. And then eventually it got to the point, Johnny, where I fought so much and gained so much people's respect from fighting that I was just like, damn, okay, this is how you become friends with everybody. You just fight.
Right.
So that's how I took
it. Kind of, sort of, not. But it certainly does. It certainly does help you in the ring, and everything. You had a lot of fans. I saw some people, calling your name and everything. Obviously, we see some fans on here today. What is your message to them, if you have one, about achieving goals and going for your goals?
Man, the best thing I could tell anybody, and I tell everybody this, you got to believe in yourself. Like when I'm sitting there crying in the back, getting my hands wrapped by another coach because we're sitting there talking about it, I'm sitting there crying for the first time ever, And it's not that I'm not believing in myself.
Hold on. While you're getting your hands wrapped, you start crying.
Yep. It all starts to hit me. Like the moment of not having my coach, not having people that I really need right next to me. And then having my hands wrapped, and then the coach that's wrapping my hands, we were talking about it. And that's when I'm crying. I'm like, wow, this is actually overwhelming. I've never felt like this before. So whenever I'm going into that crowd and I'm seeing Dakota Gray walk out, that's when everything just washes away. And I'm just like, nah, I know I'm supposed to be here. Like this is I wouldn't be here for no reason. God sent me here. I believe in myself. God believes in me, and I believe in God. And that's the only thing that's the only thing people should worry about. Believe in yourself.
What's so interesting about what you're saying? A lot of people don't understand this about fighting. That well, some people do. It's very emotional. right? I used to tell people all the time that many times I'm sitting after I train, I would sit down and cry. I would say that, and it was okay because I was very emotional, and people don't understand it. And by having the control over those emotions, and then putting it to work to accomplishing your goal can be a very, very powerful thing. And you did that, and you did that. So let's talk about Vegas really quick one more time. So are you saying to me that you and your team want to go to Vegas?
I'm gonna talk to my team and see what's the best option and what they feel like, because I know what I want to say. I know how
Right.
I feel about it,
I
but
know.
I do have a team, and I do want to be able to talk to them, and then of course talk to you on a private call and see
Right.
what's the best going forward for sure.
Right. Well, you guys just let me know, man, because I think, like I said, it's up to you guys. But when we put you out there like that, there he is again. Mason out there in the country. All right, guys. So anyway, though, that's Mason Doyle and everything, and he is a warrior. He's the berserker. Is that what he said? And all the guys out there willing and ready to fight almost anybody and anything, I guess, because he's willing. He's just a fighter. He's just in his heart and it's in his soul to do what he's going to do and everything. Mason, let me give you final words here really quick. Hold on one second. He came back on. I'll give you final words really quick. Here are
Yeah,
final
I'll fight
words
right now.
from Mason Doyle. And I'll let you go. I know you're out there somewhere. Let me give you final words, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give me your final words on what your thoughts about the event and
Mm.
what the future looks like for you.
And all in all, Johnny, this was a great event. I love IKF. IKF's amazing promotion. I can't wait to see what the future holds for me and IKF, and for every other fighter too. For fighters coming up, I'm seeing a whole bunch of fighters, little fighters. Johnny, these kids they're getting better, man. Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, they're getting so good. Like, oh my gosh, if I was that age, I'm getting my butt whooped every time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, but yeah, brother, like I love the promotion. I can't wait to fight again on the IKF promotion. And the future, like the future, I mean, brother, it's up from here. You know what I mean? I want to be able to go fight IKF. I want to fight in one championship, and like as a career. You know what I mean? There's bigger things in this life that I want to achieve, and only God will be the witness of that, and everybody else will be the witness. So let's see what we
Absolutely.
get for.
Mason, before I let you go, what is that? What is that on that tattoo on your face right there?
This one right here.
Yeah. What
This
is that?
says this says Odin in Nordic runes. So I have Nordic runes on my hands. These all have different meanings to them, and then this one right here says Odin. And
You all
Odin
in. You
and
all
Odin
in, brother. And
all in,
it
brother.
reminds me of my brother who used to read Greek mythology.
Really?
He was all in it. He had all of these books about Thor and Odin and all of these other gods, and things like that.
Yep,
He got
yep.
me into it. I started reading. Really, that was one of my earlier things that I was reading. All of these books on Greek mythology and all of that. Then I got into more the Africa ancestry and ancient Kemet and all of that kind of stuff like that. But it certainly was a great start and everything. Listen, I am looking forward to what the future holds for you, young man. I think you're very talented. You got a good head on your shoulders and everything. If you can prepare yourself each time as you did this time, I think you're going to give anybody a heck of a lot of trouble. Whatever the record is, because again, you got that dog, you have that inner spirit of a warrior, right? And
Yes,
having
sir.
that is something that is hard for people to get. I call it also that eye of the tiger, right? That eye of
Yeah.
the tiger thing took me a minute to get it. I didn't get it really until the second half of my career, where I was really trying to take people out. But the
Yep.
first part of my career, I was in there just outpointing them, outpointing them, but didn't really want to knock them out until I knocked somebody out, and then I was like, "Whoa, that felt real
Yeah.
good," right? And then you start really trying to go for it, and you're just trying to take people out and everything.
Right.
Final words, though. Thank your trainers and your fans and everybody who came out and supported you.
Say that one more time.
I said thank your trainers and those who helped you out and those fans who supported you.
Oh yes, no, of course, no, yeah. I gotta thank my brother for coming out there, my dad for cornering me. You know what I mean? They like, if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have nobody out there. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the fans, you know, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't have fighters trying to put on a good show for everybody. For everybody, like for just like the UFC and MMA is getting so much traction. But where's the striking? Where's the kickboxing? Where's the Muay Thai? Where's all these striking shows? And like the fact that IAKF is putting this on, like everybody needs to jump on this because like it's only going to go up from here, and the striking scene's only going to go up. It's only going to go up.
And that is for sure. We got some good stuff, really good stuff. In fact, we have a big meeting going on right now in California, you know, with about some new striking stuff. And anyway, thanks so much, Mason Doyle, for being on today. We certainly do appreciate it. We're going to move on to other things. But we have coming up here, next weekend, we have some events in Charlotte area. We got events all across the country, but also, as I did mention to you, in May, we got some great events coming up in Reno, Nevada. But later in July, our IKF World Classic is on the dockets, guys. It's coming up July 10th through the 12th at the Flamingo Hotel there in Las Vegas, Nevada. The registration is going on right now at IKFFightSports.com and IKFFightPlatform.com. You guys go ahead and get registered right now. It's going to be the great event. Remember, all divisions are getting belts, whether they're novice, whether they're C class, A class, B class. They're going to be getting these beautiful championship belts and all. And we have 4 fighter brackets. It is a wonderful event. But I tell you, those 4 fighters in those brackets are killers. Right? You know, all of them. You know, so if you want to come out to a premier event where you have to really challenge yourself in the fight capital of the world, you want to come out July 10th through the 12th, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Flamingo Hotel. It's going to be a beautiful event. Get registered right now, IKFFightSports.com or IKFFightPlatform.com for the IKF World Classic. Now, in the fall, we have our IKF Fall Classic that's going to be returning October 16th back in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's going to be a great event. As always, we're going to have some certified titles on it also. And we're also bringing another tournament to South Carolina. It's like the other end of South Carolina. In Rock Hill, South Carolina, Mr. Don Roger is going to be having an IKF Southeastern tournament. It's going to be a great fun. It's going to be some great fights. We're going to have some certified titles. It's going to be in the same format as the Fall Classic in Myrtle Beach. We're inviting you to come out to that. Information is on the platform, IKFFightPlatform.com. It's going to be a great event. So towards the end of the year, we're going to take over the Southeast. Right, going to have PKB there, Point Muay Thai, Point Boxing is going to also be on both of those events. So IKF Fall Classic and the Southeastern Winter Classic. I say winter, more like the end of the fall, over in Fort Mills with Mr. Don Rogers. Going to be a great event, both of them. So we hope you can get you guys support. Go ahead now and start sharpening those tools to come on down, as they say, on the Price is Right for some great events. All right, guys, we have some good things going on in the IKF right now across the country. We hope that you will be a part of what we're doing so that your teams can get what they deserve, get a quality event, quality awards, get well taken care of. Like when we have good insurance, that we take care of our fighters and everything to make sure that they're getting the proper care that they need. Our PBSC is really growing, really changing the game. I'm excited about what's happening there for point boxing sparring. A lot of people came out. We had a decent crowd of point boxing people, but they are just loving the action. Our PKB, Point Muay Thai and Point Kickboxing, is really on fire and taking off across the country. Guys, it's just a reason for you to come out and support the IKF, the PBSC, and all the other things that we were doing across the country. All right, guys, that's actually all I have for you today. Thankful for my guests coming on, chatting. Always great information from people when they come on the show and they share their ideas. Because you know what? There's a lot more to this game, guys, than just punching and kicking people in the face. I mean, fighting is very difficult. It's very hard. It's very challenging. But as Mason Doyle says, it makes you also grow, right? And so there's a lot more to it. But you have to do it within a certain window, then move on to other things. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks once again for watching yet another edition of Johnny Davis Live. I want you to always respect each other. Forward march. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.